that I give tours to, they have a pretty good knowledge of Bonnie and Clyde. Unfortunately, a lot of the knowledge that people have is from the movies. So completely off base. I tell people to just forget everything they've seen in the movies, and I'll try to tell them as best I can what the true story is. Most of the sites over in the West Dallas area get a lot of oohs and ahs because it's kind of, you can kind of feel the history here, especially for those who are really into it. This is the barrow filling station that was owned by Clyde's parents. It was actually moved here from another location a couple of blocks away by horse and wagon, and the gas station was set up here. This is not its original form. It's had additions made to it. It's had fire damage done to it, so it was repaired and changes were made then. Also in this neighborhood, just about a block away, was where the Hamiltons lived, Floyd and Rayburn Hamilton's families. And then about 3 blocks from here is the site of where Deputy Malcolm Davis was killed by Clyde in January of 1933, which is the only known murder that was committed here by any member of the Barrow Gang. They tried to meet up with their family as often as possible. They would leave notes at the Hamilton house in bottles to be carried over to the Barrows to help arrange meetings, family meetings. And some of those meetings took place out in this area here. This is the Devil's Back Porch, this whole area is known as, because it wasn't patrolled very heavily by law enforcement. And so, as I was saying, ne'er-do-wells like Bonnie and Clyde and the Hamiltons and others of the criminal element would come in this way when they were coming into Dallas undetected. And they would also leave this way. Several of the family meetings were held out in this area because there wasn't any fear of them being found or seen out here. This road goes across the river and goes into Irving. And they would also use this road as an escape route to go to other places. In July of 1933, there was a shootout where Buck received a head injury. They were hiding out at Dexfield Park, and they were happened upon and they were arrested. This was where Buck and Blanche were arrested at. Subsequently, Buck died 7 days later in the hospital. Blanche was taken to jail, and she actually served time in prison. They were buried, Buck was buried here, and Clyde was involved in the purchasing of the headstone, and his request was that his name be put on the headstone because his plan was to be buried with his brother. And they lay here next to their parents and also their brother Elvin, who went by the name Jack. There was a desire to bury them together, and as in Bonnie's poem, that was her wish, that they be buried side by side. Emma, her mother, would not have any of that. She said that Clyde had her for 2 years, and look what happened to her.